G'day guys, welcome to our weekly Q&A. My name's Schepis,
Lyndon, Purcell.
and we're going to answer some questions for you.
Alright,
What do we got?
so today we've got a question from our man Ray.
Hey, Ray.
How would you go about programming for hypertrophy for someone who is completely new to the gym and or someone who doesn't know their 1 to 10 RM?
It's a good question because a lot of beginners want to get bigger, that's why they start lifting.
And you
where do you
always
start?
hear that, training between 75 to 80% of 1
1
RM
reps,
or
yeah.
something like that.
I think I'd preface this entire discussion with the fact that a beginner's objective in the gym is very different to somebody who's intermediate and advanced, obviously. And the first thing that I would focus on with a beginner is not only buy-in to the process and enjoying the process, but also skill mastery, technique. And when it comes to skill mastery and technique and ensuring that they have no issues with their movement patterns or injuries and things like this, using loads, as a percentage is really a frivolous endeavor. It's much more about, velocity of their movement and the quality of that movement itself. Because we need to remember that beginners, the first 6 to 8 weeks of their training don't make many muscular adaptations. It's very much a neural quality, ingraining that skill. And then beyond that period, that's when training gets extremely damaging to their muscles because it's a very novel stimulus and, the neural side of things dissipates to a degree. So I think there's some important considerations before discussing how you would work out somebody's 10 rep max. Is there anything that you would add on that?
I guess I understand that Ray's asked a specific question, but I'd probably try and understand more the big concepts and more important things here. Like, as Jacob said, it's going to be an extremely novel stimulus for a beginner, and they will experience
A lot of soreness.
Yeah, a lot of soreness, a lot of disruption to homeostasis, all these growth pathways being put into play. So therefore, beginners can, like it gets said all the time, beginners can grow using anything.
Yeah.
So therefore, the ideal program centered around 10 RMs and all kinds of things like that does not even really have to exist. Yeah, I would be...
You wouldn't even want to see somebody hit a rep max.
No, that was exactly what I was about to say, yeah. I would be more concerned with relative intensity. So probably things about gauge how far they are from failure, depending on whether this person's being coached or are they coaching themselves. Because as we have beginning to learn with RPE research through Eric Helms and that sort of thing, beginners are very bad at determining how far they're away from failure. With, they might think they're 4 reps away from failure, do 1 more rep and can't go again.
Yep.
Or, again, sort of, pussying out a little bit and, stopping well and truly short of failure.
Or technique breakdown.
Exactly right.
Immediately after 1 perfect rep. With a beginner, I feel that there's so many variables that can lead to, poor progression that you really want to stay away from anything that's going to interrupt their ability to progress. And your focus, once you've acquired the skill, is simply to build work capacity, through adding volume and just improving their tolerance to training and their ability to recover from the stimulus within their program.
Yeah.
Because a beginner will progress on just about anything and very linearly as well. So we need to make sure that we don't try and reinvent the wheel with worrying about rep maxes. That's something that you can begin to worry about when somebody has acquired the skill and developed the work capacity to train, regularly and frequently, and with some intensity as well.
I would, what I would suggest, probably a good place to start, is there tends to be a drop off in rep speed within about 3 to 4 reps short of technical breakdown. So if you can just focus on probably when they start to drop off rep speed, say you're getting them to perform sets of 8, and around that 8th rep, there's a drop off in rep speed. That might be around that 10 to 12 RM, which is probably a good place to start.
Exactly right. And I think rep maxes for beginners is really irrelevant anyway.
Yeah.
You know, like we said, we should be focusing on skill acquisition, buying into the program, to the training processes, as well as building work capacity until they're at a point where you can start pushing them a little bit harder, and you know, missing a rep or two isn't gonna, you know, ruin their confidence or, you know, ingrain bad motor patterns.
Just something interesting on like building work capacity, and as Jacob said about how damaging weight training is for the beginner. A lot of training studies have shown exactly that weight training for the first maybe like 8-12 weeks, there's no growth. There's just a whole lot of neural adaptations at that stage, and then growth occurs fairly linearly after that. It's currently being hypothesized by a few, you know, fairly well smart people within the industry, and it's probably my current opinion as well, is just the reason that growth doesn't occur initially is due to the exercise is too damaging straight away. Like a lot of, when we do these training studies with beginners, they might go straight into a 4x12, you know, exercise regime or something like that. Whereas they, you know, having done no exercise, they might need, exactly right, they may need one set of about 5 reps short of failure for that first week. Like for the first 2 or 3 weeks of training, probably just let them touch the bar, doing sets of like 10 to 15, like high rep stuff. And then that may potentially, I would think, negate some of the time that it takes to start seeing hypertrophic adaptations, because what occurs potentially at the start is there's a massive growth signal for these beginners, but there's also a massive breakdown component due to how damaging training is. So really just use the minimum effective dose for beginners for sure. Progress just linearly, like yes, we can make progress quickly, but just probably as slowly as possible in order to not overload them too much, stay short of failure, practice the movement, build work capacity, and then probably don't start worrying about RMs until
6-12 months.
Intermediate stage.
Easy. Ray, we hope we answered your question there. If you have any further questions, guys, make sure you comment below and we'll speak to you shortly.